I'm thankful to Principal Mazhar Ahmad Faruqi sir for initiating this lecture series to benefit the students in this pandemic time when they are sitting at home and they're absolutely clueless of their future. I'm thankful to the Commerce Department who gave me this opportunity to speak. So let us begin without any further ado. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. The topic for today's lecture is career opportunities in Python. The name Python doesn't have any relevance with the stake. The name Python was chosen by the author because the author was fan of a BBC TV show named as Monty Python, a flying machine. So this Python word has nothing to do with the snake. What is the main purpose? The main purpose of these lecture series, which Principal Sir has initiated and which he has mentioned in the address, in his opening address, to felicitate students for self-learning, to motivate them, to encourage them for self-learning. That's the aim of our Prime Minister as well, Atmanirbhar. So, in this current scenario, where skills are the topmost priorities, and on skill based on skills, you can get better jobs for yourself. And in IT sector, though due to this pandemic, uh, other industries have been badly hit, but the IT industry is still functioning purely because of its digital nature. So we thought of introducing a language which is easy to use as well as learn, and which students can, or rather anybody else can learn with little bit of efforts on their own without any classes or guide. What is Python? Before I talk about Python, let me tell you that I have divided this presentation into three parts. In the initial section, we will be building the base, the background for it. Then the second part will be the technical part. And then lastly, what after this lecture? We will discuss what, if anybody after this lecture is interested in Python and wants to pursue a career, they can, what they can do. So that will be the third part of this presentation. So this, in this initial few slides, we are building the background for what exactly Python is, why the hype is, the why it is so happening, why it is in so much demand, why there is so much boom about it. In this three initial few slides, we will be discussing that. So what is Python? Python is a high level multi-paradigm language. See, when I say multi-paradigm, this I'll be explaining in the next few slides, that it is supporting different styles of programming. So that in next few slides we will try to understand. But Python is rich because it has combined features of all popular languages, C, C++, Java. So that makes it really rich. But this is not the only way. This is not the only reason that it is rich. There are few more contributors for making this language such a happening language. The first and foremost reason is Python is versatile. When I say versatile, it means it can be used for any and many purpose. I repeat, it can be used for any and many purposes, from web development to mobile application to data science. Data science is the most sought of field in current IT sector. Since it is, Python is an open source language, that means nobody owns, nobody, it is not a proprietary language, hence it is free. Because it is free, it has been so much developed by its rich community support. So is this language a new language? The answer is no. No, this is not a new language. It has been existing since more than 25 years. Then why the recent boom? We have to concentrate, we have to understand that why this recent boom is there since last 4 to 5 years in this language. The reason behind its immense popularity across the globe is the features it provides. There is a huge bunch of features, but the first sentence which I said in the beginning of my presentation, that it is easy to learn and it is easy to use, that we will try to see here. The first feature, which is a very big contributor to its success, it supports multi-paradigm programming. That means it supports all styles of programming, like structured programming, which we use in C, C++, object-oriented programming, Java, which is purely object-oriented base, and functional programming. This is something new, which I will be introducing in the next few slides, what functional programming is. Functional programming means just think of how to solve a problem rather than thinking of the syntax or the paradigm. Just solve the problem. So that example we will be seeing in next few slides. Python is both a programming language as well as a scripting language. When I say programming language, you can create a program, execute it, and make an application out of it. When you create a script, you are using a program to control the behavior or to monitor the behavior of any other software. That is scripting. So it can both can be done in Python. This is one of the very important features why industries have adopted it. And the biggest is this one. The Python has a very large set of frameworks, library, and tool. I call them building blocks. So Python provides you building blocks which you can use and create your innovative applications. So you're not binded, you're not supposed to write the code yourself. There is a huge library of codes available for you which you can integrate in your application. The next point is Python has a vast community support. So Python was created by a single person. His name was Geo Ran Ronsom. He created it, but since the language was easy, it was adopted very fast, and it has a huge community which has further contributed into its development. They have not just adopted it, but they have contributed to enhance it, to improvise it, and to add more features to it. So this is one of the reasons why the language is such rich. The next important point, the next important feature is Python is designed for better code reliability. So if you write a code, if you write a program in Python, you can read it. The readability of that code is easier as compared to other languages like Java or C++. Here I have given you the example what exactly I mean by that. So just printing one sentence, hello world, in Python is this simple, and doing the same in Java is this complicated. To understand a Python language, any layman can understand that, yes, this is printing something. But to understand what this Java code is doing, you need a Java programmer to understand every character present here. So this is the simplicity. By making language this simple, it has made it to be easy to write the code as well as learn. The frameworks, the libraries, which I told you, here I show you the figure. Total libraries which Python supports or which Python is having is 1,37,000. This is definitely a huge bunch. And I call them building blocks. You have seen your kids around in your house having such type of blocks which they use to create designs of their own imagination. They just use the blocks and create a design of their imagination, from their own imagination. Similarly, Java provides you a bunch of blocks Just use them, interconnect them, and create a design, a software, or an app of your own imagination, innovation. To give you an example for this, let me show you one of the projects which we did. This example is purely showing you how the building blocks work and what exactly functional programming is. So in this project or in this application, what we did is we created a notes reader. Usually students who are coming from rural areas, or maybe sometimes who are not coming from English background, they struggle with English reading, and especially when it comes to pronunciation of certain difficult English words. So if we support students, and we all know that higher education is in English, so if we provide a notes reader as their study buddy, the name of the project is study buddy. So if we provide a notes reader as their study buddy, the notes reader will read notes for them. This was the main uh, vision behind this application. This application has only 3 windows, but it solves the purpose. So this is the welcome screen. After the welcome screen, you have to click here. The button is given. It's user friendly application. The button is there. After you click this button, the application will ask you your notes are in which format. Usually the notes are either in a image format. If you have taken a screenshot, your notes can be in the PDF format, or your notes can be in the doc format. So these 3 formats we have assumed that the notes can be. If written notes are there, you can take a photograph of it, and again it becomes an image file. So we assumed that these will be the 3 main files which notes can be present. So these files, once a user clicks on any of the button, the operating system will ask to select the file. And once the file is selected, the application will read the file and read the contents, text, especially the text contents, and paste it in the window here. In this window, it will bring the text contents, and in this third screen, we will see the text which it has read, and then it will be having 3 buttons. The play button will read the notes. So when we started this programming, when we started this project, these three students, Sana, Nafisa, and Uzma, they had absolutely no Python background. They came with zero Python programming for this project. So we thought of a problem that we want to create a notes reader, and then we thought that what will be the possible libraries that can help us solve the application. So when you having this approach, that you know what exactly your problem is, and you know that how you would solve that problem is, this type of programming is called as functional programming, where you are just solving a equation, where you are solving a problem. So let me give you a demo of this application.
Welcome to MSc Computer Science Department of Maulana Azad College.
Hi, I am Chimp, your study buddy. चलो पढ़ते हैं. Please select the type of file you want to study.
The road to success is always under construction.
So as you see, it the application achieved its intended task, intended aim of reading the notes from different file types. Now, when I'm talking of blocks, let me show you the blocks or the libraries which we have used. So the students took almost 3 to 4 months to complete this project. These are the tools, these are the libraries they have used to complete this project without a single line of code taught by me. I just gave them one time demo of how things work around, and rest they have done on their own. So how they achieved it? They integrated these different libraries. These different libraries they have integrated. For example, this was the first library which we wanted, GTSS. This is provided by Google. So Google provides this library. It is a translator of text to speech. So we just integrated into our program. We have not written the code for it. Similarly, we have this doc to text. Then we have this Pythonorg. This is also provided by Google for OCR. OCR is object character recognition. So the point I want to stress here is students with their regular studies spending 3 to 4 months can create an application in Python because it is easy to learn, it is easy to code. I'm repeating this sentence several times because I want you to take home this sentence. This is another project which is done in Python, but this project is different from the previous one. Previous one was purely functional programming where you just integrated the libraries. But this project had a research dimension to it. This is a project which was created as a this project was created as a AI based chatbot, and this is a virtual assistant. So just imagine there is a travel agency, and instead of a human, we have an artificial intelligent trained piece of software which is interacting with the users. So before I explain any details about it, let me give the demo for it because this is really interesting because we have put this chatbot on FB. It is live. You can check it for yourself. I'm sharing my browser where I would so this is the FB page which you will see when you search for on your FB page. Just make a search for this Gumio. This is the name of the chatbot which we have created. And we have integrated with FB. We have created a page. We have just imagined a virtual tourism company, NSSZ Travel and Tourism. This is just a virtual business page. This is called as a business page on FB. We created a business page, and on this business page, when you click on send message, is the chat window clear to you all? Because here I can see. Okay, okay. Now the chat window is clear to me. So this is it. This chat window, I am interacting as a human, and the response will come from AI-based chatbot. So let me show you a sample conversation. When I say hi, there will be some response from the bot. If I change it to hello, it will have some response again. It is understanding my conversation. This is what I wanted to show, that a machine is responding to this. So it is understanding my conversation. Now let me try to ask few questions. Let us assume this chatbot was created for Aurangabad city tourism. So this chatbot can provide you with information of Aurangabad in terms of the places you can visit, in terms of the hotels where you can have stay, the shopping places, and what you can eat and where you can eat. So let us strike the conversation. To strike the conversation, I just tell, help me. And since it's a machine, it will respond in a different way. When I say help me, it is telling me if you need help from me, since you need to ask a very specific question. Since I am a machine, I need more specific question to be able to assist you. I can help you with stay, visit, shop, or eat. That means if I have to interact with this bot, I have to either type one word from these four words. Let us type visit. So I am telling this, for me, let us assume that I am imagining that there is some customer care executive interacting with me, but there is no customer care executive responding to it. It is the bot. So what the bot has said to me, Aurangabad city is much historical significance and mythical background. So where would you like to visit, within city or outskirts? So let us give outskirts. So outskirts of Aurangabad, these are the tourist places where anybody could visit. Let us give the first option. If I just type the first option, it will give me some response. It has provided me with a sample photo of Ajanta caves, a little history of Ajanta cave, the timing it is open, the time it closes, and is there any entry fees. Then it is asking me whether you want to know more places, outskirt places, and then it is providing me a link as well. If I click on this link, a Wikipedia page for Ajanta where they can find more details, photographs about it. So in this way, let me go back to my presentation. So in this way, what we have done with this particular project, in this project, it is not just Python. From Python point of view, we have just used a single library. It is NLTK, that is Natural Language Processing Toolkit, to understand that same things can be asked in how many different ways, to understand the synonyms, to break down the sentences. The major part of this project was building a corpus. That means building a conversation. So first, using interviews, doing interviews with people and gathering question, we had to build a corpus. When you work with NLP, when you create a database for NLP, it is called as corpus. So we build a corpus of questions by interviewing people. That imagine that you are standing on the railway station of Aurangabad and you're absolutely new to the city. What would you ask? So after listening to them, we created a database and then we trained the machine that, see, these are the type of questions people may ask you, you respond accordingly. So this project done in Python, but has also used the webhooks provided by Chatfuels, Pandora's, and Facebook. Even Facebook provides us the webhook where this messenger from Facebook is interacting with a piece of code where I have placed. So this project is a research big project. It is not just a building block or functional project where we just integrated some libraries. So this is another group of students which did the project, Sanya, Samreen, and Zeba. So now we have seen two different projects, two different groups of girls, students. So can we call them Python developers? Can we call them Python programmers? Answer is no. I will call them Python enthusiasts. They got interested in Python, and without any Python background, with zero background, they thought of an application. They went to the Python libraries and saw how they could solve their problem at hand, and they did it. But will this give you job in the market? No. The reason why I discuss the project is to build your interest in the language, but at the same time emphasize that studying this language or properly studying this language would definitely then only give you job opportunities. So from this point, we will enter into the technical aspect. So we have built enough background for the discussion. Now let us enter into the second part of the presentation, that is the technical discussion. Why? Why is the boom? Why these companies? Why so much of hype? Why these top companies? If you can see the name, YouTube, Google, IBM, Instagram, Quora, Amazon, Netflix, Facebook, Red Hat, name it all, Nokia. I am unable to see NASA, even NASA is there. But why all these top companies are adapting Python? Why? The reason for adaptation is this: data science, machine learning, web development. These companies, they wanted to improve their performance. They have already been doing really well. They wanted to add more feature and serve the customers nicely. For example, if you have used Netflix, oh okay, let us take an example of YouTube. When you have been frequently visiting YouTube, YouTube remembers the choice of videos you watch, and then it keeps on suggesting you accordingly. Every time you open your YouTube app, it will suggest you similar kind of videos which you have previously viewed. For such type of very complicated programming, all these companies have shifted or adapted to Python. But the whole crux, the soul of Python lies on its libraries. The libraries of Python, Python की libraries ने ही Python में जान डाली है. They are the soul, whole and soul. And the community is making it richer and richer. Imagine a language which has 1,37,000 libraries, how rich it is. And when you have such a rich language, what you just need is imagination. You imagine an innovative application, you just need to have an idea, and Python has an answer to it. Python will help you create that application for sure. For sure. Let us see beyond this. So after this point, when I have emphasized a lot on the boom, the happeningness of Python, why it is having such a hype, my focus now will be totally on this, because that's where your jobs lies. That's where you'll be paid for. Understanding these will make you a Python developer. Understanding this will bring job opportunities for you. So now, from beyond this point, my focus is on this thing. Now if you notice, there are two words which I have been repeating since from the beginning: libraries and frameworks. Let us see what these libraries and frameworks are. So are libraries and frameworks same, or are they different? So the newbie developers, they use the term library and framework interchangeably. For them it is same, but no, it's not. There is a huge difference. Libraries serve a different purpose. Library serves a different purpose and framework serves a different purpose. And the major difference between them is the complexities they have. Libraries are less complicated, frameworks are opposite, that means they are more complicated. But the industry is using both. To understand the difference between libraries and frameworks, we need to have an analogy. For example, if you want to build a house, what framework will do is create a outline for you, create a empty structure for you. The basic things it will provide you. A house will require a foundation. A house will require a roof. A house will require some walls. So the basic out structure will be provided by framework, but frameworks will further need libraries to complete the house. So the house will also have doors, windows. The house will also have amenities like refrigerator or oven. So framework will call these libraries to create the amenities for you. So basically frameworks are just an basic foundation building blocks, and they also make use of libraries to complete their task. We will see this in the next slides, that how these two works in together. But let us see that what are the top in demand frameworks and libraries, because if you know these frameworks and libraries, you have job at your hand. So let us see what are the top ones. The top framework, the top framework, I have only mentioned four. Actually, there are many, but I have only mentioned four just to keep this presentation short. The first one is Django. Django is used with Python to create web applications. So if you want to have a website, you use Django framework. You tell Django framework, create a website for me. As a Python programmer, you just have to tell the framework, create a website for me with 5 pages. It will just give you 5 pages. Now the website is not complete with those 5 pages. You need to have content, you need to have images, you need to have links between the 5 pages. You need to have the menu bars, the menus in the pages. The framework will internally call the libraries to complete their task. So Django is one of the most popular framework used for web development, and the sites which work on the sites which have been developed are the Washington Post, NASA, Instagram web, Udemy, and YouTube. These sites, they have been developed using this technology. Django is also called as full stack because it can be used for large scale development. Means you can create a very huge website. If you want to understand what a huge website is, you can go and see the HP computer website or Dell computer website. They are really huge. Even Microsoft websites. The second top or very popular one is Flask. It is also used for web application, but small to medium ones. Who have adopted it? Netflix, like Airbnb, Reddit, Mailgun. You see, the top Netflix is a very, very, very successful website. Even Airbnb, these are total, these websites, they are huge traffic websites. So maintaining a website which is efficient and handling a huge traffic is a serious task. But Flask framework uh, with Python interpreter has achieved this task. Then there is also one framework called as Bottle. which is a web server gateway interface. So when you have a web server, you have an interface to monitor the network flow. And the fourth one is very popular among data scientists. Data scientists are those people who work with machine learning. So the framework popular there is Web2Py. Let us see the top libraries. I've mentioned only few. I've been telling you since beginning. It is 1,37,000. So difficult beyond from the scope of this particular webinar. So I've mentioned only those four which are very popular and are created by the giants themselves. So TensorFlow is the one created by Google, built by Google in partnership with Brain Team. This is one company. They work with artificial intelligence projects, and Google has partnered with them to create a framework, TensorFlow. And TensorFlow is mostly present in all Google applications. So if you see any Google application and you find it to be giving you a good response, for example, YouTube, which is providing you as per your choice suggestions, what you should see. You searched up, you are watching a particular video, but they suggest you similar videos that you can watch this after this, you can watch this after this. So when you have an intelligent piece of software which is doing a particular task, especially for Google, then TensorFlow workframe is working in background. This is the next one is scikit-learn. This is very popular amongst the machine learning people. Machine learning, let me explain you what is machine learning. Machine learning is basically a way of teaching the machine to remember something and predict the future happening. For example, if I teach a machine how to play chess, it should be able to predict any future moves the players can take place. So this is what machine learning is. You train a machine to act as a human brain. So this is one of the most happening in demand technology, that is machine learning. And machine artificial intelligence is totally based on machine learning, and the framework used is scikit-learn. Similarly, we have NumPy. NumPy is that library. It is a very basic and very useful library which other libraries make use of, especially TensorFlow. The fourth one is made by Facebook. That's why I've mentioned the name here. It is PyTorch, and it works with neural networks. Neural network is also a technique that can be applied for machine learning. Why, why are we all discussing these things? Why I'm focusing so much on frameworks and libraries? This is where your job lies. This is where your job opportunities are. अगर आपने फ्रेमवर्क्स और लाइब्रेरी सीख लिया किसी एक पर्टिकुलर डोमेन का, कौन से डोमेन्स हम आगे देखेंगे, लेकिन किसी एक पर्टिकुलर डोमेन के आपने फ्रेमवर्क्स और लाइब्रेरीज को चूज कर लिया, सीख लिया, उस पर कमांड या एक्सपर्टाइज हासिल कर लिया, यू हैव अ जॉब. What kind of jobs you can have? That's the next slide. The title of this slide, which I have kept is, what are the career options you can have? What is the skill set required if you want to be a Python developer, or if you're looking out for a job in the sector where Python is required? And what are the expected salaries? I've just quoted the Indian salaries. I've not taken into consideration the US or UK salaries. I've just quoted just to give you a feel, जस्ट आपको अंदाजा लगे कि इस फील्ड में कितना आपको एक्सपेक्ट हो सकता है, आप कितना अपने सैलरी या इनकम को एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो. सो बिफोर आई टॉक ऑफ द various fields, let me tell you something very specifically. Python is a versatile language, which I am telling since the beginning. So Virtually, there is no limit on the number of different domains and the application it can be used for. You can use Python for virtually anything and everything. But to limit this webinar, I am talking of only 5 most popular in-demand domains where Python developers are required. The five domains are automation engineer, web developer, ethical hacking, game development, and the most popular, data scientist. So if I have to rate them in terms of demand, this will be the first one. This will be the second one in terms of demand. This will be the third one. This will be the fourth one, and this will be the fifth one. I don't know. I'm unable to make five here. So please accept it. Anyways, though I have placed ethical hacking at the fourth level of my sorting, but the salary for an ethical hacker is very huge. So in the next slide, we will be seeing the skills required if you want to call yourself an automation engineer, or if you want to call yourself a web developer. So whatever interests you from these domains, what are the skills or what are the frameworks which you can work with, and what is the expected salary? The first domain which I mentioned in the previous slide was an automation engineer. What is automation basically? Whenever you have software, rather in every software company, you will have a department which is software testing department, and there are various techniques they use to test the performance, efficiency, validity of the software. That is the software performing as per the expectation? Is the website performing as per the expectation? And it is difficult to do this testing manually because of the complicated nature of applications created these days, complicated, huge websites created these days. So what the industry does is it makes of some tools to create the script to test their applications. And one of the tool which I can talk of is Selenium. Selenium is a Java-based tool. So knowledge of Selenium, the framework PyTest and PyUnit will can land you a job in an industry as an automation engineer in the software testing department, and you can expect a salary of 6.15 lakhs per annum. It's it's a good offer. It's a really good offer. The second type of domain, the second domain where you can see yourself as a developer is the web developer, the web industry. It's in boom. Everybody wants to have a website. The the people who had a website, they wanted to add more features to it. The education institutes are going. The education is now complete getting digitalized. So whenever you are having digitalizations, you would definitely require a website. So a requirement, a need for a web developer is there. And if you want to become a web developer using Python, you need to have the knowledge of Django, Flask, and Web 2.5. If you know these three frameworks and the basic programming in Python, you can land a job for yourself, and you can expect a salary somewhere around 7.25 lakhs per annum as a web developer in Python. The third type is the ethical hackers. Usually, ethical hackers are recruited on contract basis by companies to check whether their softwares or their websites have any loophole where some hacking attack can take place. And these these ethical hackers are really skilled programmers. They are very skilled and really genius people, they have to find out the bugs, especially the loopholes from where the software can be compromised. The tools required is CAPI, FlowGrip, Subroot. If these frameworks you work on and you have the basic programming of Python, this knowledge you have, you can expect such a huge amount. 9.25 lakhs per annum, a very huge amount. Then we have the game developer. Game development is really in boom due to the availability of very rich configuration mobiles. So when demand is there for the application, demand is there for the developer. So if you want to become a game developer, you need to have the knowledge of Pygame, PyOpenGL, and Kiwi. If you have knowledge of these frameworks, you can expect a job as a game developer into any game developing company, or you can create a game of your own self and sell it to people. You don't even need a company for it. But if you happen to get a job, you can expect a salary somewhere around 8.5 lakhs per annum. So Python these days is highly paid job. There was an article in Times of India, one of the industry, they didn't mention the name, IT industry, they got a project of $2 million from US, and they were supposed to create an application in Python, and they were struggling to get Python developers for such a huge project. So demand is really high. And the fifth is the really booming sector. It's it it is technical, it is little tough, it requires a little mathematical background, little नहीं, ज़्यादा वाला mathematics, some mathematical background required to excel in this domain, but it's very highly paid, high in demand, most sought out. What are the libraries you require? The pandas, the numpy, the scikit-learn. These are the frameworks. And what is the expected salary? You can expect a salary somewhere around 9.75 lakhs per annum. So yes, definitely there is a boom. Yes, definitely there is high demand of Python. Apart from these domains, you can just think of an application where you can provide some service to people. The applications that get success these days are the bridging applications, that somebody is having some service and they are not able to reach the customers. For example, Zomato thought of that these restaurant owners, they have to wait for the customer to visit their restaurant so that they can serve their food. Zomato told them, see, we can help you. We will provide your food to the customer at their place. And you know how successful Zomato is. Every colony you will see two, three Zomato executives delivering food. So if you have an unique idea, you can propose that only. You have not to stick to these domain only. You have freedom to propose an application into your choice or an innovative idea which you have in your mind. So till here, I have built a atmosphere. I have built a situation where now you have realized, yes, okay, there is a lot of boom for Python. Yes, Python is easy to learn. Python is high paying. There is a huge job opportunity. Now, what should I do? So, if this lecture inspires you, encourage you, then what should you do? How would you use it? What should be the next step? So, what I did is I this is the application. This is the course which I have found out for you. Let me share the browser. This is one course. This is absolutely free of cost. Let me open this web page and then I will discuss in detail about this. Let me share my browser. I hope the browser is visible. So this is one company, Dataflare. It is a training institute, India-based training institute, and it has been training only for Python courses. There are some other institutes which train in any other programming language, including Python. But this is only particular for Python. And the best part is that it has one complete free of cost course for the beginner. Just if you today, if you want to start your Python learning, this course is there for you. I will share the link to the organizing committee. They'll share it with all the students. So you will be greeted with this page, the link which I have given with this page. You will be greeted with this page. If you scroll down, you will see this orange button. For me right now, it is showing start now. For you, this button will have enroll now. जब आप ये वेब पेज खोलेंगे, आपके लिए यहाँ पर एनरोल नाउ लिखा हुआ आएगा, क्योंकि मैं ऑलरेडी इनके पास रजिस्टर हो गई, मेरे लिए ये बटन स्टार्ट नाउ है. बाकी when you click on enroll now, you will be just asked to create your login details. Just you need to have an email, working email. So what this course is offering you, this course is offering you more than 20 plus hours of programming in the form of video as well as text. You have notes as well as videos, and it is self-paced. If you want to do classes, back to back classes, and you want to finish the course as early as possible, you have the freedom. If you want to just give 1 hour daily, you have the freedom. It is self-paced, and there is no binding for the time. It is 24 by 7. Whenever at the middle of the night you are unable to sleep, most of the time people are struggling to sleep these days. So if you're unable, you just get up and start this course. So what will happen if I, let me show you, if I enter, we will, the moment I click on this start now button, you will also get, once you register, after registering, you will also get, when I click on the start button, I will enter into the LMS. This particular website has its own LMS, learning management system. In this LMS, they have this. Once I click on this, I am in the LMS, and in this LMS, you will get to see the course content. It, it also shows you the progress. When you finish a particular chapter or a particular point, it shows you your progress, that you have finished 5 steps from the 243 steps which you are supposed to complete. And one more thing which I forgot to tell, this website will give you a valid certificate with license after completing. So once you complete this course, they will have a little exam, MCQ exam, and if you clear that, you can even get a certificate for that will certify that you have finished your basic Python programming. So it will show the progress, and it will show you the content. When I click on this, any content, but purposely I'm clicking on the environment because that's where you will start the programming. So if you want to start with Python programming, this is the first step I would ask for, because the basics I have covered. You know now what is a library, you know now what's a framework, you know that yes, Python is very happening and it has uh, easy codes and all, you know by that. Now the first step should be the environment. That means where you will program, what is required for program. So you would require two things for the program. First, you require the Python interpreter. The Python interpreter, just a minute, I'm unable to see because of this annotation. python.org. So from python.org, we need the interpreter. Let me go back to the LMS. How can I hide this annotation screen? Can anybody help me with that? The title bar for my browser is not visible. Okay, now it's visible for me. Okay, so I'm back in the LMS. Because of the annotation bar on the top, my browser title bar was not visible to me, and that was creating problems. Sorry for that. So we are back in the LMS. So let me explain you first this LMS. What this LMS is providing me, LMS is providing me with a video lecture, one video lecture. You can watch this video lecture just by clicking the play button. And in addition to this video lecture, in addition to this video, this LMS provides me with a written notes. If I click on this particular link, a new web page will open, and whatever they have taught in the video, the same instructions will be listed here. And these are the same instructions which I wanted to show you for installing the Python interpreter. So the first thing we require is the Python interpreter, and this Python interpreter you can download from python.org. Let me go to the python.org. Okay. So python.org, when you go to this website python.org, we have to directly go to the downloads. When you go to the download, you will have this long list. So the current version for Python interpreter, the latest version is 3.9.5. So you have to directly go to you have to click on download, and when you click, after clicking on download, don't waste time reading anything here, just go to the down below, and here we have the options. But before downloading, you need to know two things: the operating system you're using, whether it's Windows based operating system, Linux based operating system, or you have a Mac computer. But mostly in India, we have a Windows based system. The second important thing which you need to know is which type of processor you have, a 32-bit processor or a 64-bit processor. Accordingly, you have to download the binary files. Either you need this file or this. You can cross check this by clicking on your my computer, right mouse click on your my computer properties. You will see there the list, and in that list you will see the type of machine you have. Either it is a 32-bit machine or a 64-bit machine. So before you start downloading, confirm what type of machine you have. After this, you require an IDE. So once you have the binary, you can use this interpreter binary files to install. After you install this, you can directly use for programming, but we are used to a GUI. So there are lot of IDEs which comes for the support of programming with Python. So the most popular one is PyCharm. So the two things which you require, the two things which you require, because of this annotation screen, my browser is really giving me a challenging time. It's okay. Please bear with me. Please bear with me. Okay. So we are back, and I hope this time it is not giving us that serious issue. So if because of this browser issue you couldn't follow this step, don't worry, just register for this course. You will find all the steps here, everything step by step. They have mentioned that how you need to download from python.org, which binaries you need to download, whatever I have mentioned right now, everything is mentioned in step by step here. Other than binaries, other than the Python interpreter, you require an IDE. They will even teach you that here. Because of the browser issue, I'm just skipping this part, and we will see that what's there in the PPT. We will go back to our PPT. Again, we have to go to the browser. So the first link which I have given this here is for a free course, and the second link which I have provided here is a Udemy. Udemy is a LMS.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, Navin ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, we are having only 10 minutes left.
Okay. We are about to finish. We are about to finish.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. This probably this is the last slide. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So you have a free course by Dataflare Training Institute. Then you have Udemy LMS. In Udemy LMS, just in the search bar type Python, and you will get a long list of, because of the browser issue, I can't show you that, unfortunately. You will get a long list of courses, and these courses are dedicated courses. If you go to YouTube, you will find a lot of videos for that, training videos. But YouTube videos are basically sometimes they pop up ads. Sometimes they distract you by suggesting, okay, you can see this video also, or this video. So if you go to a LMS, there you have a focus. There nothing is distracting you. You are studying. It's your study room. It is kind of a study room where you just focus on study. Udemy is also a very huge LMS which provides courses in every subject, every. Here you can go and search for Python, and I wanted to show you that even the paid courses are very low cost. It is just 385 or 420 or 450. These are so low courses, so you can avail those courses to learn the advanced ones. So the first course which I have mentioned is the basic one, where you will be learning the programming, the loops, the arrays, the lists, and the when you want to master the frameworks, you go to Udemy. Or if you don't find any free course in Udemy, Or if you want to learn a particular framework like Django, you want to learn, and it is costly in Udemy, then you can go to YouTube and you can search for its tutorials and courses. So once you have this basic knowledge ready with you, I guess you can finish the basic course in a month or two if you are very dedicated, or it will take 3 to 4 months and some 4. So let us assume that you are taking a complete year to master Python. What next after this is you need to go for certification. I Microsoft provides certification for Python, Google provides, and even Harvard University provides. And Harvard University has also got some courses. Due to pandemic, they had made those courses free. Go, you can search. I wanted to show, but due to the browser issue, I can't show them. That is really unfortunate. So we have come to the end. So if you have any doubts, you need any further guidance, any further help, you have an idea and you want to develop the application, you can contact me. My active WhatsApp number I'm providing. Any student from any department is most welcome. You can have you can just begin with as a Python enthusiast, and once you feel that yes, it is your cup of tea, you can have a serious consideration of taking Python. So you can use these projects in your academic projects. Every course has projects in their some or the other semesters, so you can use them. These are my numbers. This is my number and this is my email if you want to contact me. And I'm sorry I've taken you a lot of time, so I thank the organizing committee, I thank principal for giving me this opportunity to speak on a topic which is of my interest. Programming language is what I have taught all my career. So when the organizing committee approached me for this topic, it was an instant yes. It was no second thought. So I'm thankful for the organizing committee for such a great organization of this lecture series and this guest lecture. I thank principal for initiating such a great thing by to help the students and initiate a self-learning attitude in them. So the organizing committee can take over. It's okay from my side now. I'm done. And sorry for taking your extra time. I'll just share the PPT if anybody needs any question. If anybody needs any question, the session is open for questions. And sorry, Aparna madam, in flow, I totally spoke in English. I'm sorry if the students uh, I I wanted to speak little bit in Hindi, but in flow I couldn't control myself and I spoke totally in English. Is there any question? Aisha, is there any question?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Sorry for the delay. There's a network issue with me right now.
No problem.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Mohammed Mohideen, and I'll be asking you the questions asked by the audience. But since none of them are asking any questions, I've made up a few questions that I would like to ask you.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So, ma'am, what are the key features of Python?
The key features we have seen in the initial slides only. The key feature is that it is portable. It supports multiple paradigm. It is easy to learn. It is a cleaner code, and it is an interpreted language. When it is an interpreted language, you can test a piece of code directly on the prompt. You have not just to hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Nazneen madam, I think we can answer the questions. There are a lot many other questions also from the students, but because of time limitation, we would like to directly have the vote of thanks. I
Okay.
request Mohammed Safiuddin Faruqi to kindly deliver vote of thanks. Safiuddin Faruqi, please,
Yes,
Arif
ma'am.
sir, please unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Safiuddin Faruqi, would like to present the vote of thanks for today's session. At the outset, I would like to thank our Honorable Principal, Dr. Madar Ahmad Faruqi, for providing us with the opportunity to conduct this informative lecture. Also, I would like to thank Dr. Nazmin Akhtar ma'am for giving her precious time and enlightening our students with the interesting programming language Python, which was very informative. We hope this session will benefit our participants in their career opportunity. I would also like to thank our head of department, Dr. Aparna ma'am, for continuous support and motivation which made this event a success. I extend sincere gratitude to all the organizing committee member and Aisha ma'am and Muhammad Farooq sir for their tireless effort. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the participants for their valuable time and patience throughout the lecture. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, Safiuddin. And sincere thanks to Dr. Nazneen Akhtar madam for sparing her valuable time and being with us today. And I am sure and believe that many of the students have taken a very good value addition into their career journeys from the lecture of today. And we expect similar cooperation for the future ventures of the department as well. So thank you once again. Thank you all the
Definitely.
students.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very
We
much.
end with the session for today. Hmm? Thank
Yes.
you all.